Hi, I'm Eric Mansfield, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and welcome to Practical Mental Health. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about external mindfulness. So I know if you look up mindfulness, it tends to lump everything in all in the same place, I guess. I tend to break it apart for clients, internal, external, and then there's a bunch of different categories that can go along with that. However, today, I'm going to focus on external mindfulness. So basically, this is sensory awareness, your basic senses. So sight, touch, hearing, smell, and taste. Those are your 5 basic senses. So the idea behind mindfulness is noticing without judgment. So I'm going to take you through a few exercises just to kind of get you used to doing that. Noticing and observing your senses, each one individually, and then hopefully bringing it all together without judgment. So you're not going to have any kind of emotional attachment to any of this. Do the best you can to not say, okay, well, this is good or bad, or give any kind of definition to it. It just is what it is. That's all I want you to do. Just accept it is what it is. So the idea is that we experience the world through our senses. That's how we basically see, feel, hear, smell, taste. All of that. However, I will say that there may be some of you that may not have certain senses, and that's okay. This is your experience. It may not be ideal, but then again, we're not judging it as ideal or adequate or inadequate, or leave all of that stuff off the table. It just is what it is. I know some people have perhaps lost the sense of smell or taste or both from COVID. That definitely can be daunting, but if there's any part of this that does not apply to you, just skip over it, but don't judge it. That's kind of what I'm trying to convey here. So let's see. So the idea of external mindfulness, this can be a starting point for increased situational awareness. And I'm going to get into more details about that in a different video. However, this is just a basic starting point, just basic exercises for just getting yourself aware of your sensory input. And you might actually think, well, I'm already aware. Well, the question is, are you really? So we're going to go through this exercise. I want you to practice this. Don't judge it, good or bad. Don't develop an opinion about it or any of your senses or anything to that effect. So the first one that I usually start people off with is 4 corners. The idea is that you just want to look around and observe your surroundings. Just take a look and see what is around you. You're not focused on any one particular thing or a few things. Just kind of notice what's around you. Oftentimes, it's a good point for being able to assess, are you in a safe space? Is it comfortable? All that. But for this exercise, I just want you to look around and just observe and be aware of where you are. Be present right here, right now, in this moment. Okay, so that's 4 corners. The next one is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A lot of people call it a grounding technique. And it definitely can be used for grounding in the moment if you are feeling distressed or anxious or anything, depressed, angry, whatever it might be. This is a good exercise to give you a moment of pause. However, for right now, I just want you to practice it as is. So we're going to go through each sense. So first thing I want you to do is take a look around you and identify 5 things that you can see. And if you feel like you need to pause this, you can pause it. Hopefully I'll give you enough time to be able to do it. Just focus on basic objects. Like I see a ceiling fan, I see a lamp, I see the wall, I see a door. Just make it, easy peasy kind of thing. Easy peasy, quick and easy, I guess. So 5 things you can see. Now, 4 things that you can touch or feel. Doesn't necessarily have to be an object. You can feel the environment also. So 4 things you can touch or feel. Go ahead and do that. All right, 3 things that you can hear. 2 things that you can smell. And as we get into that sense, it might be the kind of thing you might have to actually pick up something, or, you can smell your shirt, smell yourself, do a body check, make sure that you're okay, but don't judge yourself for that. Taste, 1 thing that you can taste. Has to be food. Do not lick random objects. And there's a reason why I have to say that, but I'm not going to get into it because it could, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but do not pick up a random object. Do not lick anything that is not food related. Do not put anything that is not food related in your mouth at all, ever. Unless like it's a thermometer or something. There are objects that, like forks and spoons and stuff like that, but okay, so that's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can touch or feel, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing that you can taste. Now, the next thing is picking up an object. It can be anything. Just pick up a random object that might be around you. Usually it's the phone. Actually, that's what I'm using right now for my camera. So the idea is that you want to hold an object in your hand, and you're going to not identify 5 things you can see. You want to just identify everything that you can see. What is the shape, color? Is there texture? Do you notice the edges, like how different the light is on flat surfaces as opposed to corners? Those are just some examples. Just notice everything that you can see about it. Now notice everything that you can touch. So when it comes to touch and feeling, how heavy is it? Does it have mass and weight? What about, is it hard? Is it soft? Is it cold? Is it hot, warm? Textured? Just kind of notice everything that you can touch. Just identify everything that you can touch. The next thing is identify everything that doesn't make a sound, as far as everything you can hear. It might be that you tap it with your fingernails. Don't shake it if you're worried that you're going to break it. Some things you can shake and it makes a sound. If you have a phone, you might want to play a little ringtone or something. It's not necessary. The question is, does the object itself make any kind of sounds? Does it have a smell? Maybe, maybe not. Be careful with that. Sometimes, you don't want to smell anything that might be toxic or noxious or anything like that. And then, of course, the last one, taste. Don't taste anything that does not belong in your mouth or against your tongue. Okay, so that's basically describing a single object. So external mindfulness can boil into anything and everything that you're doing from day to day. I'm going to start with walking, standing, sitting, whatever you might be doing. So right now, I'm standing. Wherever you are, notice what you're doing. You might be sitting, you might be walking, who knows? I want you to notice just what's going on around you. So the idea is, you're probably going to notice the sense of touch, especially with the base of your feet. If you're standing, if you're sitting down, just notice what it feels like to be sitting, the pressure against your butt, the back of your legs, the feeling of the clothes on your skin. The atmosphere, is it warm, cold, comfortable? If you're walking, it's kind of hard to demonstrate this here, but basically the idea is that you're going to notice the shift in weight as you're walking. So like even how your feet are being placed against the ground. Is it heel to toe? Are you walking on your toes? Maybe the opposite. You're putting your toes down first and then your heels if you're walking backwards. The shift of your weight. Depending on where you are walking, noticing, is it outside, inside? Are you noticing any sounds? If you're outside, it might be birds, the wind, cars, people, depending on the environment. If you're sitting in a quiet place, even notice the quiet. That is something to even think about. I mean, just notice. What does it feel like to notice quiet? Of course, it's not quiet if you're watching this video because you're listening to me. Okay, so that is definitely something that you'll probably be doing every day. Either walking, standing, sitting. I know that there are some people that have limitations. That is fine. That is okay. I mean, don't put any kind of judgment on this. Like, don't tell yourself you're limited. It just is what it is. If you don't have the ability to walk, or if you are struggling, or maybe you have a walker or something, if you're an older person, or if you have been injured, or if you need crutches or a cane or wheelchair or whatever it might be, just take the moment to just notice what that is feeling like, what's around you. If you do have to have a wheelchair or crutches or a walker or anything to that effect, describe that to yourself. Like, use this practice of mindfulness to look at what it is that you have in front of you, not judging it either. Okay, so the next one, I think everybody pretty much does this as far as eating. So you have to consume nutrients in order to stay alive. So everybody eats something. And with regards to mindful eating and without judgment, the idea here is you're going to go through those senses again. And again, if you are struggling with smell or taste, I would suggest try not to worry about it so much. You're going to be able to focus on the other senses. So if you're sitting down and you have a meal in front of you, and I want you to practice this today, it doesn't matter if it's morning, afternoon, evening, whatever meal is coming up, or if you're snacking, whatever it might be, just take a moment to just look at it. Notice what it is. The shape, notice the color, texture. Is it brittle? I mean, it's like, just everything that you can see about it. Is it pleasing? Is it pleasing to your sight? Is this something that you would want to put in your mouth? Some things are, I guess they kind of look gross, but they taste okay. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but yeah. So next is like touch or feel. So I don't want you to just, put your fingers and stuff in your food. Sometimes that can be pretty gross, but however, holding your hand over hot food to make sure that it's warm enough or even cool enough. Sometimes I've done it where I think something's cooled off enough and I put a bite in my mouth and boom, it's too hot and I burn my tongue. Or you might actually experience that possibly with hot coffee or something like that from a drive-through or whatever. So definitely be aware of like temperature with regards to food. That's the touch and feeling part of that. The hearing part, usually food doesn't make a noise or sound. Sometimes it might, depending on what it is that you're eating. The wrappers, if you have a wrapper on it and you take that apart, I mean, that's definitely going to make a noise. Some things might be very soft, pliable. It won't make a noise if you break it apart. Other things might be hard, like potato chips. If you break it, it will make a sound. Then what I want you to do is, after you've noticed what you see, what you're feeling, Oh, and with food, if it's dry good stuff, like if you're eating potato chips or snacks or something like that, or nuts or who knows what, also kind of feel the texture in your hand, like, and the weight. Is it cold, hot, room temperature? Now, getting to smell. So this is going to be pretty important, and I apologize for everybody that may not have a sense of smell. Smell is going to tell you whether or not your food is what's the term? Slips my mind. Like if it's like milk, if it's sour, or if it's curdling, or if there's something funky about it. If it doesn't smell right, don't eat it. Don't even bother trying to taste it. So smell your food. If it is appropriate, it should smell good and it should smell pleasing. Hopefully that's what you're going to feel. But then again, I just kind of overstepped my own bounds. Like, we're doing this without judgment. So don't judge whether or not it's pleasing or bad or anything. Just smell whatever it is that you have in front of you and just accept that is what it smells like. However, also kind of be aware. You don't want to try to taste or consume rotten food or anything like that. So the next one is taste. So that's when, if you're sitting down to a meal, that the food is safe. There's nothing wrong with it. Smelling, you're going to enjoy the smell first, and then you're going to put the food one bite at a time into your mouth, and you're just going to let it linger there for a moment. You want to just kind of savor the flavor, taste it, notice what it's doing to the inside of your mouth, perhaps. What are the flavors that you are sensing? Your taste buds on your tongue are, it's full of sweet, savory. It can register all kinds of flavors and stuff. So trying to notice what are the individual flavors, or is it a blend? Is it, I wanted to say, is it pleasing, but we're kind of not judging that. It's just, it is what it is. So notice the saliva glands. Your saliva glands might be flowing now. And then as you chew, notice how the texture changes. So that is also something with regards to touch and feel. That is definitely something that's going to be very important for people that are struggling with their sense of smell and taste, is the texture. This is definitely something I've heard from clients, is that because they can't smell or taste the food, texture is everything. If it doesn't feel right in the mouth, it's not going in the mouth, so to speak. So if you are able to smell and taste the food, chew it up, notice the texture as it changes. And then as you swallow, notice how it moves down the back of your throat. You might actually feel it go down past your esophagus, into your sternum, and possibly even into your stomach. So doing that with at least the first bite of your food, no matter what it is that you are eating. Hopefully the idea is that this is going to be another practice to help strengthen that connection with your sensory input. So that's kind of the idea behind this, as far as I've given you some descriptions of how to do this through 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Describing an object, walking, standing, sitting, eating. This is the kind of concept you can take this anywhere and everywhere with you. It's basically raising that sense of self-awareness, sensory awareness, and you can do this with everyday activities, no matter where you are, what you're doing, what you have in front of you. Chores. I'm thinking everybody pretty much does chores to some extent. And then as you kind of get better at this, what I want you to do at some point is to be able to stop and just observe your immediate surroundings, similar to Four Corners. But this time, you're just going to you are going to incorporate all of your senses, everything. Don't just separate out sight, touch, hearing, smell, taste. Hopefully the idea is that you'll be able to get to a point where it's just all at once. Like you're experiencing everything. And it should feel good. Hopefully it'll feel good. Well, of course, without judgment, but yeah, the idea is that I would like for you at some point, at the very least, go outside. I mean, that really helps with all the senses. On a nice day, rainy day, stormy day, I mean, it really doesn't matter. Any weather condition, it has its benefits. I mean, I actually would like for you to experience all of it. That's nature. That is the world that we live in. So if you're out and you're sitting in nature, or if you are walking in a park, or even just walking down the street in a city or neighborhood or whatever it might be, just try to take in everything that you can see, everything that you can feel. I mean, especially if the sun is out, is it warm? Is it comforting? Is it cloudy? Is the temperature okay? I mean, how does the temperature feel? What are you hearing? Birds, animals, cars, people. What are you smelling? Depending on the time of the year. Strangely enough, I've been outside, and sometimes in the wintertime, hours before it snows, you can actually smell the snow. There's a certain scent that goes along with that. Springtime, you might be smelling, I don't know, fresh flowers, or different times of seasons might have different scents in the air. Of course, tasting, I mean, unless you have some water or you have a beverage or you have some food or something like that, or unless you absolutely 100% know what vegetation outside is actually edible, then you can pick stuff and taste it as you go. But if you don't have that knowledge, don't do it. Don't risk it. There are a lot of plants out there that can make you sick if you don't know what you're doing. So that's the basics. That's just basic external mindfulness. It's all sensory input. Just observe. Don't judge. Try to get used to that. Practice it every day, several times a day. It definitely will help to raise that sensory awareness, the mind-body connection, your connection to the environment, what's around you, whether you're inside, outside, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this one. That was just the gist of it. Hopefully it gets you started. Okay, so wish for you, hope you have a wonderful day. Wish for you a wonderful life, and I love you all.